Fresh coat of lip gloss is on. Let's get into it. Josh took down all of his previous videos about Adam McIntyre and then posted another video, an explanation, if you will, took that video down. So I don't have it in full, unfortunately, but I am going to be stealing portions of it from Vangelina Skov's video. So thank you, Vangelina Skov.
That I don't expect anybody to value me or what I'm about to say. I don't expect anyone to listen to me, truly.
This is why later, when he talks about his struggles, his mental struggles, I don't feel bad for him because the language that he uses implies that he's just trying to be manipulative. I don't expect anyone to listen to me. I don't expect anyone to actually be nice to me. Dude, shut up. He is the literal definition of a nice guy, you know? Like,
regardless of that, this is my personal experience and I've chosen to share it anyway, despite what the internet is telling me to do right now. May 14th, 3:21 p.m.
He's literally giving us a timeline play-by-play. Like, he made his own documentary for this.
You can pause this if you want to read the whole thing.
Hi Josh, my name is Carolina and I am the head of documentary at BuzzFeed Studios. I am working with, I don't really care, to develop a documentary about what really happened behind the Miranda Sings Colleen Ballinger saga. During our research, we found your YouTube interview about what happened to you, and I know it wasn't easy to come forward. Because this was your lived experience, I know it's more than just a story for you, and that's what we're trying to capture in this documentary. Would you be willing to speak with us? If you prefer, we can talk entirely off the record, which means I won't record our conversations or tell anyone we've spoken. It's important for us to get this story right, and the best way for us to do that is to speak to those with first-hand experiences. I imagine you must have gotten similar requests in the past, so I appreciate your time in even reading this email. Let me know, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. All my best, Carolina. Like, this is literally, he's acting like disaster is about to strike. It's low-key giving 8:46 a.m. September 11th. Like, what? This is Josh's response to their email. Hi, Carolina and Haley. I sat down tonight with my wife, Pamela, and really talked through all of this honestly. We had to face the reality that this documentary is going to be made with or without my participation. And because of that, it feels like the best thing I can do, at the bare minimum, is hop on the phone and have a candid, off-the-record conversation with you both. Something in my gut tells me this could actually end up being a blessing in disguise. Half of this email is completely unnecessary. He literally could have cut half of it. Your email carried an empathy and humanity that reminded me a little bit of how I felt when I first interacted with Swoop years ago, and that instinct matters more to me than polished pitches or promises ever could. I also want to be transparent about where I'm at mentally and emotionally right now. Bro, you don't need to do that. At the end of the day, this is honestly a work opportunity. Like, you don't need to... If this were to go sour somehow, I genuinely don't know if I could get back up again after everything I've already been through. Josh, get a fucking therapist. Get a journal. If one thing goes wrong in your life, he's gonna jump. Like, then he starts talking about how his father passed away, and like, that's really sad. I genuinely do feel really bad for him about that. That must have been a really hard thing for him to go through. Why is he bringing it up in a work email with people he doesn't know? Time and place. And you did it in my documentary email. And I made excuses for you. All of this has taken a real toll on me, which is why this situation feels so heavy. At the same time, part of me wonders if maybe this doesn't have to be the thing that finally finishes me off. It must be exhausting to be around him when he's constantly on the edge at any given moment. I'm trying to be sensitive right now to the fact that he is obviously struggling, but at the same time, like, I can't be the only person that thinks that this is a little much, no? Maybe this changes the trajectory of my life instead. Maybe I'm not just a recluse who lost his passions and desire to be here. Maybe I'm just a weathered version of every experience I survived. He is the perfect person to be in a documentary because he just loves to yap and yap and yap and say things that he thinks sound profound. I don't know yet, but I'm willing to talk. I'll be awake for a while tonight. I'm available anytime Friday as well if you'd like to set up a call, Joshua.
Before I say anything else, I need to explain where my head was at when all this started. Last year, my dad died while we weren't on speaking terms. It shut me down and changed me in ways I still can't explain. I spent the better part of a year isolating myself from 98% of everyone in my life. No calls, no texts, no hangouts. I hated my existence and didn't have the energy to pretend in front of anyone anymore. Back in February, that isolation and headspace led to a plan.
I'm really, really genuinely sorry that that happened to you. I really am. What does that have to do with this? Why are you bringing this up? Like, lipstick and my Valentino white bag. Let me know if I'm wrong. I know sometimes I can struggle with empathy, okay? What does this have to do with anything? Like,
So when this documentary opportunity came along, I personally saw it as hope. After a few calls with the documentary team, I trusted them. They came across as thoughtful, compassionate people, hey Shadow, who wanted to tell a bigger story about fandoms and the people affected by them. At the time, Adam and I had been cordial for years. Cordial. I knew one of the journalists had already messaged him, but she hadn't heard back. That's all I knew. So I reached out myself. Looking back, I can absolutely see how aggressive and overwhelming that message ended up being. What I didn't know was that they had already tried contacting him multiple times before I ever sent that DM. That matters because I've never been upset that Adam didn't want to do the documentary, not once. I've never said it in writing or out loud. I've never thought it anywhere. What disappointed me was his public response. That being said, within 48 hours of seeing Adam's original video about it, I started looking deeper into the project and the people connected to it. That's when I discovered they were following Johnny. Given my history with him, that immediately raised red flags, so I scheduled a call and asked a straightforward question. If I was going to trust these people with my story, was there any chance he would be involved? Instead, I was told, and this is a quote, "I find it interesting that you have such a negative and extreme reaction to Johnny when you were involved with the Ballinger family itself." She was questioning why someone who aggressively and publicly defamed me in front of millions would cause such a reaction out of me. I was asking why they would even consider letting him have any involvement in a project I was being asked to trust. They wouldn't confirm it. They wouldn't deny it. They told me I needed to trust the process. I confronted them and it did not go well.
hey, so what does that mean? Hey, so what does that mean? Hey, so what does that mean?
So on June 8th, I ended my involvement completely. I've never given them anything on record, and I haven't spoken to them since.
Best believe they're going to use what you told them, though.
Something else that stood out to me, they had Pamela's contact information the entire time. They knew she had lived through much of this with me, yet nobody ever reached out to hear her perspective.
Why would they? Why would they, Josh? It's honestly a miracle that anybody reached out to you. Who cares about what your wife has to say? Your wife wasn't married to Colleen. Like, what? I'm also confused because Josh literally said that his wife and his best friend were involved in the documentary. So now why is he turning around and being like, nobody asked my wife anything? So was she involved or was she not involved? I'm like confused. What?
For a project that claimed to care about the human impact of these events, that felt strange. So by the late afternoon of June 8th, the trust I had with them was gone. I ended everything. It was a big confrontation, not only on the phone, but through email, back and forth, through text. All of them doubled down. They would not confirm or deny. They didn't like that I got upset and raised my voice because I was panicking that they would consider Johnny. They wouldn't at least say, yeah, man, don't worry. We would not put you through that. I thought that was a little thing to ask, but I understand now that I'm wrong.
I can't tell if he's being genuine or not, or if he's just like the way that he was in that last video with Adam, where he was like, "You're right, I'm so sorry." Like, is he doing that here? Or I really have a hard time believing he's genuine and he means it. Like, Joshua David Evans has never said that he's wrong and meant it.
When you finally push back when someone says you're important and you say, okay, so I want this one thing though, and then their first thing is, nope, you were never important.
It was never important. Everyone feel bad for me.
I think that ass is too crazy. But what do I know?
Getting war flashbacks.
What do I know? Fuck me, right?
To the anxiety, chaos, and anger of this whole situation, I'm sorry. My intentions were good, even if the outcome wasn't.
I have a hard time believing his intentions were good when he was leaving the sunflower emoji on Adam McIntyre's video, but I digress. Before the documentary reached out to me, my life was quiet. I wasn't on social media. I silenced myself, went to work, came home, and repeated the cycle. Pamela had started posting a few small videos to this channel, hoping to make a little extra money to help take care of our growing family of rescue kittens. Then that email arrived. At a time when I was struggling mentally and emotionally, it gave me something I hadn't felt in a long time: hope. It's giving when he said to Adam, "You freed me. You freed me." I reached out to Adam in good faith because I believed a conversation was possible. Instead, the internet did what the internet does, and the documentary team tricked me into thinking I was safe this time. Anyway, love you forever, Pammy. We'll get through this one too. Heart. So, since this video was posted, he has since taken that down as well, and he has posted yet another one. This is goodbye, and the thumbnail says, "This is goodbye. My final video." With all of the videos he's been posting lately, all of the things that he's been saying, painting himself to constantly be on the edge, you have to realize when you post something with this title and thumbnail, the type of initial thought that it might provoke in your audience, and I think that was on purpose. I think he wants to get these clicks. This entire video is just text, so I'll read it to you. I've spent years of my life making videos, not because of some grand plan, but because I saw a VHS camera as a kid and was captivated, don't care, don't need your life story. Recently, I was in early talks about participating in a documentary and nothing was finalized. It seemed genuine and worth considering, so I reached out to Adam in good faith and received no response, which was totally fine. Really? Because you seemed a little pressed that he didn't answer you. It all changed and caught me completely off guard to see him talk about it so publicly and so negatively. Grown man learns that people can have different opinions than his. We were still in early off-record conversations, just exploring ideas, nothing set. Watching something that small be framed so confidently for thousands and thousands of people was unsettling, and I reacted from a place of confusion and hurt. I let my fear take over, and I said and posted things that I shouldn't have. I went too far. I was rude, especially to Gavin. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I freaking forgot to talk about this. I'm not going to go through Gavin's entire video because it is over an hour long, and I just don't really have that much to say about it, so it would just be me watching the video. If you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. It's a great video. Hear about his story, give him the view. So Josh worked for this company. He was a manager for YouTubers, and Gavin Reads It All was one of his clients. Josh was his manager, and Josh was basically not a very good manager to him. Gavin had a lot of anxiety about the situation, and Josh didn't really do very much to help him out. And at one point, Gavin was literally begging Josh to be released from his contract so he could get his money in time to pay his bills and literally support himself. He was begging Josh, and Josh just wasn't answering his emails. At one point, Gavin had to email the actual company that Josh works for, and Josh responded with an email being like really passive aggressive towards him and being like, by the way, thanks for reaching out to the higher ups. Like, it was like really friggin' stupid, and it's like, dude, you're so unprofessional. That's so lame and loserly. Like, what is wrong with you? This situation has since been resolved. Gavin is free of his contract from that company, and he has since gotten all of his money, I think. So that's great. Good for him. Go support Gavin. He's awesome. Honestly, we need to support more small booktubers because I love booktube. Y'all keep yapping about them books, okay? But yeah, that's the Gavin situation. I'm glad Josh is actually acknowledging it. This is decent accountability, I suppose. I don't really know if he's truly being genuine or just lying, but for what it's worth, I'm glad he's saying this, you know? Gavin, I'm sorry. I spoke to you out of anger and panic instead of remaining professional. My work life and private life collided, and I didn't handle it well. You didn't deserve that. What I said wasn't true, and I never should have said it. I believed in you from the start and still do. That's good. That's nice. Credit where credit is due. It's not my apology to accept, but in my uninvolved opinion, I think this is a decent apology, okay? If anyone should profit from this entire chaotic situation, it's the one person whose work actually brings something positive to this world. That's you, and I mean that completely. To the people I worked with, thank you. You believed in me and gave me an opportunity I'm genuinely grateful for. In a world after being a YouTube creator, it felt like my options were limited. It was all I had known for so long, and I didn't know what else I could realistically do. When the opportunity came to work in creator management, it felt like the most natural next step. I thought maybe I could be good at it too. Looking back, I now see the documentary and being a YouTube manager very differently. I think I believed I had no choice but to stay connected to this world. Like I had to walk away from being a creator but still carry the weight of it with me, simply because I couldn't imagine my life existing without it. I tried to make it work, it clearly didn't. For those wondering, yes, I no longer work at Studio 71 anymore. Losing my job was painful, but it gave me something I didn't expect. Perspective. Perspective. Hope. Freedom. Josh, you were just gaining all these things, huh? I realized I don't have to keep finding new ways to work within this online space. I am not bound to it because of my past, even though I genuinely believed it was a world that would always define me. Because of that, I don't want to keep trying to be understood and valued in it anymore. When I look back, I don't see someone who set out to hurt people. I see someone who tried, someone who cared. That's why I commented the sunflower emoji on Peter Mon's video and Adam McIntyre's video and in the description of my YouTube channel. Someone who created from his heart and sometimes got it wrong. Honestly, a lot of my life became about trying to explain myself in different ways, hoping that if I said it just right this time, I'd finally be seen correctly. Some people aren't looking for truth. They're not looking for context. They're not looking for you at all. They're anxiously waiting to see what parasocial moment they can cling to next, who to be mad at, who to expose, who to root for. Every channel feeds off of each other. And in that space, trying to be seen is already a losing game, because the intention was never to see you in the first place. It is time to rip off the final band-aid. I am okay with letting go. I gave it all I could, and I'm proud I tried so hard for so long. At the end of the day, I was just a kid who loved making videos. Who is in love with love? That was why I got on here and I was so mean and nasty and passive-aggressive to Adam McIntyre. And, well, that was why I was a garbage manager to Gavin. I love love. I tried a lot, I learned a lot, and I failed a lot too. I spent years hoping that if I just explained myself better, I'd finally be understood. But I don't think that's the point anymore. I'm grateful I got to make things, grateful I got to share them, grateful for the good, the bad, the confusing, all of it. Thanks for being on the ride with me. When you're given the chance to choose a better way, try to choose it every time, and forgive yourself when you don't. That's the goal. Get back up, do better, try again. Forever and always, be nice to people, be nice to yourself, and au revoir. Au revoir. His description just says, subscribe to Gavin Reads It All. He deserves it. Slay. His pinned comment is truly a work of art. For those who think I deserve more punishment than what I've already received, I understand that's your opinion. But I am unemployed. Oh my god. More f***ing melodramatic. But I am unemployed, living paycheck to paycheck, and I've made the decision to never exist in this space or on social media again. I do feel bad that he's unemployed, but that is unfortunately of his own actions. Like, if you were a good manager, you probably wouldn't have been unemployed, I fear. You guys got what you wanted. I'm unemployed and I'm leaving social media just because of you. Aww. No one feels bad for you, dude. Like, I'm sorry. The only reason I took the management job in the first place was because I needed a way to make a living. That's all I'm trying to do now. Whatever honest work is available to me, that's what I'll pursue. You've gotten rid of me. Accept that. You don't get it. Joshy, you still don't get it. You don't understand. I only want to quietly move forward, find peace, and provide for my family. Wishing you well. Go save some unhoused animals. Accountability and deflection can't coexist. The moment blame shifts, accountability stops. You've gotten rid of me. Okay, so you clearly still don't get that you're the problem. Please get therapy, I beg, and maybe surrender your house of cats to a rescue or shelter that can provide for them. Dog, all you had to say was, what I did was messed up. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go work on myself, so bye. 3 sentences, not even proving you know what you did, just taking surface level accountability. It's truly not that hard, unless you are as messed up as you've presented. Another grown man that can't just say, what I did to other people was not right. Shocking. I guess I'm glad Gavin got something of an apology, but Josh, this video is still not it. You didn't address age-shaming Peter, who has been so overly kind to you and offering to talk off the record if you need someone else in recovery to talk to. I didn't even know about that. It didn't address why you only targeted the gay men talking to you about your actions. It doesn't address the sunflower emoji, which you've admitted you know the history of, and using it to try and re-trigger a victim of your ex-wife. Yes. It doesn't address the yelling at people over the phone behind the scenes. It doesn't address if Gavin got the money he was owed, or if any of the other clients were treated the same way behind the scenes. It doesn't address how you never mentioned and advocated for Becky, Oliver, Ella, and Alex during all of this while trying to act so much holier than thou to Adam about them. It doesn't address hiding out on the subreddit and making fun of people on there. It doesn't address hate watching Adam's live streams and mocking him on your stories the whole time. Victim blaming him when he was a literal child grooming victim, again, of your ex-wife, who you also spoke very inappropriately with him when he was a child and you were in your 30s, mind you. Not some bully leading an army. You clearly are still trying to make this very woe is me statement without addressing any of the actual reasons people were upset or any of the actual people you hurt. Truly, getting off the internet is the best thing for you. I think we can agree about that, but running off before actually owning up to what you did is gross. Full stop. You're an adult. Act like one. Give everyone the real apologies they deserve and accept that this was never about the documentary. Bro. Couldn't have said it better myself. At the end of the day, I know I've been hard on Josh, but I do wish him the best. I really don't want anything bad to happen to him. I don't want him to be in a negative place. I don't want him to be struggling. So I really do think that leaving the internet is the best thing for him. I think it will help him in the long run. I do wish him the best, and I think this is honestly the best outcome for everyone. I hope this is my last video on Josh. I did also want to say thank you so much for all of your support on my last video on Josh. It is my first video to hit over 5K views, and I now have over 600 subscribers. Yippee! If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye.